Hello everyone, this is part number 10. Probably today we're gonna jump to Ultimate. Just I need to do a little bit of shopping, sell some stuff, and I'm gonna buy some augments, faction ones. Before I jump to the harder content, as you know, I don't plan to die, but still I can put my precious loot, like the rarest materials. Good thing about GRIMTOOLS that I always mention is most of the materials can be used directly from the shared stash. They don't have to be even in your so this salt buck we're gonna need it for a quest. This seems okay. I have to craft my northern ram. Just 3 for start. That's a better component. Gonna give me a knockback and cold damage as well. Much better than the bull's rush. Actually, we have to swap to normal. So let's see. I'm not sure if I buy. Yeah, I didn't buy Homestead. RIP. This is a mistake. So this one comes with chaos resistance and is probably by far our best for damage. I think I'm honored with Devil's Crossing as well. I'm gonna need the Vitality resistance one probably. Ether definitely. And definitely my poison resistance very bad. And let's see. I have honored with Homestead, Malmut. But I can't use the augment still. Rovers, I'm almost there, but their augment's not that good. Black Legion, I got honored. I have to buy their RIT as well. That's gonna boost my reputation gain significantly. Always check your reputation menu, because every kills matters, especially in a Soul Self-Found and Hardcore. I'm gonna check their stuff as well. Something with resistances probably. They don't have nothing. At least nothing useful. Rings. No big deal. Let's check Homestead rings. Pretty low roll. I think Devil's Crossing one, they're kinda bad as well, but worth checking in. Actually, this is not bad generic ring. I think I can swap my goals one I'm gonna lose a lot of stats. But I'm just gonna buy it and I'll can decide later. But let's jump to ultimate, see how our resistance are. Usually when you jump at 60, mobs are 60 as well, so not okay. We got few bad ones. I can use this on my pistols for extra damage. I can use 2 poison ones to fix my poison resistance. And I think at the moment ethereal it's much more important than with vitality. So I'm gonna fix this. Unfortunately, from now on there is no much legit way to, and this fire and lighting to be that low in the first act is not very ideal. I can use flame drinker ointment, but first I'm gonna check the damage of the monsters. Searing Francis gun. Definitely it's not gonna be better, but is an option if your craft's pretty bad. Let's zoom out the map. I'm not gonna bother with this boss. He's very tanky at ultimate. I'm not gonna lose time. It's not something related to the quest lines or stuff, so feel free to skip it. Best I can do at this point is respec few points so I can get steel resolve.
Greetings, child.
Let's see what can I do. Usually Vindictive Flame can't be easily 11 because diminishing returns. From the Inquisitor side I think I can't touch anything, but 3 points steel resolve is gonna fix my problem with the ether resistance. It's something better than nothing. If you can't hard cap Vindictive Flame, usually 11 point is enough. Let's see how it goes with the fire damage. I think it's not too bad for now. I'm gonna start upgrading gear soon anyways. Also, probably is a wise idea to use my Inquisitors here a little bit more often. We got hated with the ethereals. That's gonna lead to extra spawns. No problems at all with the Kazakh, sorry. I always think there is a R in his name. If I'm mistaken. Let's dump. So this devotion point is huge. This guy is pretty rippy. Be careful with them. They come in swarms. Reckoning. Ideally, we're gonna drop Plunderer's Talisman very early, so we can try to craft it as soon as possible. Vendetta's gonna start to fall off at ultimate. We secure the rift. Let's take our upgrade to Slit Primal Ring. We need level 70, I think. Yep. But that's okay. I'm gonna find a different way to get rid of the resistant gap. Let's check if Milton's home. So here is the extra spawns. Usually these mages, they are not here if you are not with a reasonable infamy levels. Milton is at home. I forgot to restock my Kaiman's Chosen ointments. I have to be careful, this guy deals a lot of damage, especially when I'm very bad at lightning resistance, but Inquisitor's heal can close this gap. when you stay on top of it, you receive a lot of elemental resistance. So this is kind of solution for most fight. That's why it's very important. Press it. My next devotion point is gonna net me a very good proc from the blind sage. No blind sage but attack zero. I immediately gonna jump for that. Okay. So again, I'm gonna explain my strategy for this quest. Stay Flutter Graves. I'm gonna drop a rift portal here in the middle. And if he's not here or next to the hill, I'm gonna use the next rift gate to backtrack, so I don't constantly so this is an example for this strategy over here. So I definitely have to take the next portal and backtrack a little bit. But Luther Graves is a very important vendor, especially for ultimate, because when the attack from Malmut starts after the vanilla game, the vendor next to the rift is gonna be dead. And this is how I approach this quest. Also, let's... So Bursting Round is my best proccing skill, is a high percentage. So that's why I'm gonna attack the proc to it. And these runes, they're gonna deal extra damage. Of course, devotion is still level 1, so won't make much of a difference, but every elemental damage on top is very welcome. The problem with this proc is very random. As you can see, it spawns behind me, which is not very helpful. But actually this proc shoots as well. I didn't use attack zero for ages, so I forgot these runes actually shoot at the enemies. So according to Mats Lee, he took 2 points in Tempest which is fair enough. This lightning damage on top of the weapon is much better than the proc and one of the notes from Blind Sage. So that was a pretty bad hit. That was almost got me. I don't have any stun resistance, I believe. He stuns me for... Yeah, that was a very close call. That's the problem with Inquisitor CL. It's fine, but can't save you against heavy hitters, single target heavy hitters like a Shambler, because I have just 8 physical resistance as well. And I think his Shambler heart was a good one. That's why he deals so much damage. Stone face stuff scorching. Yeah. That was a big hit. Was like 60% of my life pool, which is not very big because, you know, gunner. That means I have to dump a little bit more in physique. Totems, no problem. I mean, Inquisitor CL works very well against normal monsters and heroes as well. I prefer to stick with Angrim for ultimate. His completion bonus is much better than Duncan, but I have Duncan anyways in normal if I need something good from his special blueprints, which probably I'm not gonna need it. He was okay for the double barrel pistols, because this is a very nice boost for level 15 fire strike user. Also, Inquisitor CL needs a second to kick in, so you have to be careful. In this second you are very vulnerable. Especially when you reposition and stuff. Consider that. Inquisitor CL won't apply immediately. So let's port Ulgrim to Homestead. As I explain every episode, he is directly north from this cave entrance. As you can see, directly north. Usually it's not big deal if you miss it, but you miss a lot of experience. And his homemade soup as well. This guy is gonna be tough. I'm gonna precast my seal just to be capped in resistances. Unfortunately, my crowd resistance is pretty bad. I'm gonna have a lot of spicy moments in ultimate probably because of that. But I don't want to sacrifice so much damage to build tankiness. That's not the idea of a auto-attacking build. This is my last devotion. According to monthly patting, I'm gonna pick the extra lighting damage. That's gonna scale with my gear and everything else. Also is gonna boost my shots. Chest Guard of Justice, this is actually a fire-based armor. I'm gonna take a pick on it. Level 68. Actually not a bad trait. It's a little bit more tankiness. But Rune Armor of Ignafar is a better offensive option. But I'm gonna keep it because it's a source of elemental resistance which I lack at the moment. Okay, this is a thing that you don't see very often. All the fabrics actually at the same place. So one is here, and the next one is gonna be on the second floor. This is pretty lucky. What was this damage? That's Beholder deal tons of damage to me. Here is a very spicy totem. I want to recast some stuff before open it. Damage is brutal. These guys, without Inquisitor Seal, I'm gonna be dead probably. But that comes with a very sweet loot. This is a Flameskeeper jacket. It's a basically gunner. This is a gunner set, and honestly I can craft this and use it till the very end game. This is a very good set because comes with a proc that it's quite high on damage. And tons of modifiers for a gunner. And I think this set contains pistol as well. It's a jacket, shoulders, belt and a pistol. So definitely I'm gonna check on this. And usually epic sets very cheap to craft. It's not very expensive. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be okay on the resistances. Some epic set, they are basically a softcore base. They lack a lot of defensive stats. I did a mistake here. I repositioned in a very bad time. Bounty Hunter's hat. This is a, I think, a gunslinger hat. Yep, but pierce based. So not for us. But it's a nice option if you don't have MI for a pierce gunner. Also this one as well. This is another gunslinger set. But I believe this is a 200 ones. But just incendiary cask is too good. This is an option as well, but this is for a grenadier, not exactly for me. I have to be extremely careful here. I'm gonna pop up my damage and I'm gonna use a flame drinker. I'm a little bit scared for this fire resistance because this is a closed area. And definitely I'm gonna take fire damage in a different sources. I don't want to risk it. Dying at level 60 plus is always painful because I already put maybe 10 hours in this build, and if I lose it now it's gonna be a waste. Usually if you die the first 15-20 levels, not big deal. This is half an hour basically of your time. But 10 hours definitely painful. I take too much lighting damage as well, but I can use only one oil thanks to the changes of the last patch, so I have to be careful with the beholders. especially hero ones and champions. My life leech is a lot, so if I constantly attacking I can die, technically. Everything's gonna come in place when I can farm a better version of my MIs. And next craftable is gonna be, for the pistols, gonna be around level 67, 68. We have to again refresh the vendor at blood growth. For shrapnel pistols, can't be a random drop as well. I have to open my eyes, or I can just check my blacksmith. If I drop this by random and I didn't notice. I already finished my devotion part, so every non-expensive devotion is a welcome. There is a beholders, which means lightning damage. I'm gonna save my distance. There is a pack of beholders as well. This is one of the weapons that actually I'm looking for. This is an empowered Aldur's Inquisition. This is by far one of the best things that you can find. As you can see, the damage in difference. For example, with my offhand. But that's gonna be my main hand weapon. Comes with elemental seal as well. Tons of elemental damage and some conversion. A very good find. Another damage proc on top. A lot of attack speed. This pistol is basically made for this build. Especially leveling, because I focus on a lot of tri-element damage, cold, lightning, fire. So this pistol is gonna basically boost all of them. And actually there is a legit way to check what damage your fire strike deals with numbers. The tooltip is not very accurate, but still you can see, you can do an elementary math. So we're gonna click the second page, we're gonna point fire strike, so we deal tears, I don't know how. We deal a little bit of cold, tons of fire, some burn, bleeding, and a respectable lightning damage. But definitely because of the gear that I picked, my main damage is fire. And my least useful is cold. Let's deal with this boss. He is a guaranteed spawn. Extra loot. beholders. I don't want to take any damage, especially if they got some crazy triple rare offhand. But I want these heroes. That was a good move by my side. I almost take the whole shotgun from the beholder. After this act, maybe it's a wise idea to cut off my ether resistance a little bit and take a ward stone. Which I don't like, basically is a tier 1 component. But I don't want to have problems with there is a lot of elemental damage bosses in the next act, like Moneybox Martin, and as well a lot of Bombermans and stuff. That's gonna hurt me a lot. Altar Kovia Mages, Altar Kovia Elders. The next act comes with tons of elemental damage. I have to reconsider a little bit my gear. Warden Creek is gonna be no problem at all. Just recast your stuff. He doesn't have enough damage to kill me. These are very good defensive gloves. But no attack speed. Usually it's gonna fix my resistance problems a little bit.
I need some time. Welcome to
Time to help Barnabas. Let's pick the free stuff. Come on. That's on level. Finally Brimstone. And now on I can do maxing out some stuff. But probably is a wise idea to take this to level 9. So it can save my life a little bit better. I think damage is enough. It's time to focus on defensive skills. Especially at level 65, I'm gonna equip Aldur's Inquisition. That's an easy totem. We got Vengeance, Maldoing's Cloth, this Elemental, no, that was Poison. That's a nice boots. Comes with tons of slow resistance, which I need. But at the moment I have to respect this guy, cause my resistance bad. I don't want to get sundered. Elemental seal as well. I'm gonna check this ring. Terrible. I have to think a little bit how to fix my resistance before the next act. I'm gonna make a deal with Direni. I like him as a extra boss if I have to farm for a reputation. This is extra XP, you don't have to kill anything, and the sanctuary you need just to enter, which is fair enough. This is gonna net me level 64 plus. Barnabas quests quite good. And now is the moment that we need to reconsider our devotion scaling. I'm gonna take Steel Resolve for basically for the resistance. Next point's gonna hit the diminishing returns, so probably one more point. And I'm gonna leave it like this. But this gonna let me swap the Ether Soul for a Wardstone. And this gonna put my resistance on a little bit more brighter side.
Good, you're one of you that good. There is the warden. The warden's defeat is a great.
I'm gonna pick few easy quests. So this guy is an easy quest. And after that I'm gonna use my strange key as well.
So, the three have decreed that I see go to...
The emissary. The emissary.
I could hear...
Okay. We have to go to Burwich Outskirts again and go to the deprived sanctuary, but we just gonna enter. It's not necessary to deal with Salazar, and I don't want to with this vitality resistance. I don't want to sign my death warrant too early. Deprived sanctuary can be extremely rippy. I never recommend this. The only reason to go there is when you are fully built, because the treasure room there is quite nice. There is a one-shot chest that can be handy. So the trick basically is just enter, Easy experience. And I'm gonna sell my stuff and end up this episode here.
See anything you like?
Actually, I have Mistwalker leggings, which I can use. I think this is the best I can do. Don't worry if you don't have it, you can use a different strategy like just swap the Ether Soul. But Mistwalker leggings, even the normal ones, the not empowered, extremely common drop. You probably have 2 or 3 already if you play alongside with me.
So you must hide before we.
Let's take a look, shall we?
Okay, the only things that I left to basically deal with is my vitality, but I'm gonna need this much later.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
I'm gonna keep this armor, these boots. I'm gonna sell this, I don't need them. I'm gonna keep this set. You never know what I gonna drop. I'm gonna transfer all the components so they count in the first page. It's much easier. Probably I'm not gonna need Devil's Rat. But maybe I'm gonna need this defensive ring over what I got. I don't lose so much damage, but I lose a lot of life pool. But still I think Sea of the Royal Crown fixed a lot of my problems. I got better stun resistance. That's why it's very important to keep different rings, so I can start the next act properly. My armor rating is quite good as well. Actually, I forgot to bring back the fabric. That put me in a very good position. I have to kill just one mob and I can equip my GG pistol. But this is gonna be in the next episode. Thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next one.